Through the ages, mass murder has been committed for a variety of reasons. Including seeking to right an imagined wrong, or killing witnesses to a previous crime. But there are always the inexplicable cases of those who kill for the sake of it. Just after the First World War, Fritz Hamann slaughtered nearly 30 young boys in his house in the German city of Hanover. He then sold their flesh to local butcher shops, pretending it was horse meat. Infamous Murders examines 3 more modern mass murderers. The first went on the rampage in the Berkshire town of Hungerford. The second positioned himself at the top of a tower in Texas. The third tortured and murdered teenagers who'd been lured to a house in Houston. In August 1987, Susan Godfrey was strapping her 2 young children into the car after enjoying a picnic in the countryside. As she did so, a man approached her holding a pistol. Seconds later, she was dead. The gunman then calmly drove to a nearby petrol station and opened fire. This time, no one was hurt. He then made his way home, where he shot and killed his elderly mother and the family dog. Setting fire to the house, he started gunning down neighbors when they rushed outside as the fire spread to their own properties. The killer then made his way to Hungerford, firing indiscriminately at people on the pavements and passing drivers. The rising death toll now included a policeman who'd managed to radio for help before he died. Even ambulance crews were fired upon as they tried to assist the wounded and remove the dead. Heavily armed police units rushed to the scene, sealed off the town centre, and diverted traffic away from the main danger area. A witness described what he'd seen.
Because the next thing I heard some shots over that. I looked over that way and a van that belongs to Norland Nurseries piled into the edge, and we ran along to him, and the gunman had disappeared then. He was shot through the throat and the face. And the his person with him was just covered in his blood and was walking around in the road all sort of white. And then there were just loads more shots, and you heard the policeman was dead, the taxi driver was dead.
The man responsible for the carnage was Michael Ryan, a 27-year-old casual labourer and member of a local gun club. 2 of his victims included the parents of an off-duty policeman, Trevor Wainwright.
I had obviously gone berserk. Saw the vehicle and just fired indiscriminately into the vehicle, and my mother told me that he fired about 8 shots, and I believe it's with a pump-action shotgun or something.
After killing Wainwright's father and wounding his mother, Ryan then took refuge in a local school, empty because of the summer holidays. As senior officers tried to negotiate with Ryan, a police assault team moved in. He told them he was sorry for shooting his mother, but seemed unconcerned about anyone else. Then, a single shot rang out. Worried that Ryan might be holding hostages, the police held back for another 2 hours before storming the building. But the shot they'd heard was the sound of Ryan killing himself. Although police had avoided a gun battle with Ryan, 14 people had been killed and another 15 wounded. It was one of Britain's worst ever cases of mass murder. With the danger over, the bodies of Ryan's first victims could be recovered. Ryan's mother, Dorothy, was a well-respected and popular Hungerford resident. No one blamed her in any way for her son's behaviour, and her funeral was well attended. What, everyone asked, had brought about such a heinous crime? What had triggered Ryan's actions? A leading psychiatrist said Ryan displayed symptoms of schizophrenia.
Something must have happened that would have so affected his mental stability that he lost control of himself. It's difficult to know what that might have been, but something in which he felt very slighted, very hurt. It may be something absolutely trivial that would never come to light.
Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher cut short her holiday to visit the town.
I had to come. It was so unbelievable. And the only thing really you could do was to come and be with the people who suffered. And of course, those people who are bereaved are in a deep sense of shock and of grief. Of course they are, because part of their life died that day with their relatives.
Michael Ryan's funeral took place on the 3rd of September. Few people attended. Reverend David Salt also questioned what had driven Ryan to commit such a horrific crime.
From all the expert opinions expressed, I fear we shall never know the real reason why he carried out such a ghastly deed. As history records it, it will be just one entry in the vast catalogue of man's inhumanity to man.
With Michael Ryan dead, no one has ever been able to explain quite what happened on that glorious summer's day.